What's up, guys? That's Chadlantis. I want to show you Xur's location once again, which you can see because you have eyeballs. So let's go ahead and check out what Xur's inventory is today. I'm a little bit tired and a little bit late on this video because I recently did a 22-hour stream of the Xur's release, of the Division's beta release, and that was pretty freaking hype. I look forward to doing some more Division this upcoming weekend, as well as the normal Trials carries. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's see what Xur has. So he has Anibirian Belcause, Skyburner's Annex, interesting. Alchemist Raiment, and the Thunderlord. For year 1 legacy engram, it's a chest engram, and curious standard stuff, blue and red drives. So the Empyrean Belcause, this is a fun helmet for the Titans. You'll be able to ADS while in the air, and you'll be able to just stop and hover in that spot where you were when you aim down your sights. This is pretty cool because a lot of people get caught off guard because they'll expect your trajectory to keep on going and then just suddenly not doing that. So they'll like keep going, like looking for you, and then you're just up there still hovering suddenly, and they're like, whoa, what? And they have to look back at you, which takes like half a second to a second of actual like combat time, which is a pretty big advantage. It's a little bit hard to aim while you're doing that. It's a little awkward when you're first getting used to it. So it takes a little practice to get really good at it, but it's pretty freaking useful. It's a neat little trick you can pull on people, so have fun with that. Also with full super, orbs recharge melee, which is always nice, but that's not nearly as big of a deal as the being able to hover in the air when you aim down your sights. The Skyburner's Annex, I believe this is the first time we sold this. This was actually the last exotic I needed to have all the exotics in the game, so I'm actually pretty excited about this being sold in Xur because it feels like a more of a special to me than it really is, because it was the last one I needed, but I got it like weeks ago. So it doesn't really matter now, but hey, you can get your hands on this one now. Chance to create orbs on heavy weapon kills, freaking useful, especially like in the raid or like Nightfalls or whatever you're playing. Being able to create orbs based off of heavy weapon kills, that's just fun. You can just use your LMGs to just mow down weak enemies, or you use swords to just slash through a bunch of thralls or something, and you just create orbs for people, and that's freaking great. Also with the full super, orbs may grant special ammo. So when your super is completely full, you're creating orbs for people, so they'll be able to use their supers more to create orbs for you. Everybody's having fun with their supers. Also, when you go grab those orbs with your full super, even if you have it already full, you'll be able to maybe get more special ammo, which is always useful in like the raid, especially if you're like a what is it, a Night Stalker. If you're running around, if you're like the guy who's floating for the ogres, and then like you have orbs being created by a weapons of light or blessing of light bubble being dropped in the middle, and then you just go around, collect those orbs from that guy, you get more special ammo to continue doing more sniper shots on those ogres. You get what I'm saying? It's freaking useful. Obviously, in Crucible, it's not that big a deal. This would be a really huge deal if you can have it on a Warlock. So if you walk around with your self-res being active or charged, and you don't really need to use your super ever because you just sit on your super at all times, run off like a Talalik because you don't have anything to do with your super, you just get more special ammo. It would be freaking awesome, but you can't because it's a hunter helmet. So would be a nice perk for a Warlock in the future maybe, but for now, as a hunter, it's just a fun perk for PvE content, not insanely useful for PvP. Alchemist Raiment. This is probably one of the coolest looking exotics in the game, and probably one of the worst exotics in the game as well. You have a chance to gain Glimmer on primary ammo pickup. 1, you have to find primary ammo, and 2, the amount of Glimmer you get is not that much. I'm actually forgetting the amount of Glimmer that you get because I'm super tired and my mind's all over the place right now, but it's not that much compared to what you can gain in return by using other exotics. Also, Glimmer isn't that large of a disparity of a resource in this year 2. It wasn't really that much in year 1 either, but maybe it's because I play the game a lot. It doesn't really feel like it's a big deal, but it's never felt like, oh god, I need more Glimmer at all ever since I started playing Cake and King. So Alchemist Raiment isn't really that useful compared to what all the perks you can get from other exotics. But if you need Glimmer like desperately, sure, wear it. You get more Glimmer. With full super, orbs recharge grenade and melee, which is of course useful because you can use more grenades and melees. All your supers full because like I said just now with the Skyburst Annex, if you have a Sunsinger with a self-res and you don't really want to use it ever because you're not dying yet, have your super full, get more orbs and melee charges while using that Talalik, you'll be a freaking wrecking crew. I actually use this a lot in like the Iron Banner or other regular PvP formats. Not so much in trials. I'd rather use like the Ram or Crest or Light Beyond Nemesis. But in like regular pubs and stuff like that, I like to just run around with this full supercharge as a self-res or as a Sunsinger, and I'll just use Talalik only, and then just throw grenades and have a melee charge at all times, which is pretty freaking fun. Thunderlord, this was I think this was the rarest. I think it was confirmed to be the rarest exotic in the game for year 1. Even more so rare than the Galahorn, considering the fact that the Xur only sold this weapon once in all of year 1, while he sold the Galahorn twice in all of year 1. And both were equally as hard to get as far as drop rates are concerned. So this was considered to be technically the rarest and hardest to get exotic in year 1. And now you can get it from Xur in a year 2 value. This isn't insanely useful of exotic. You're not really going to be like, man, I need to pull out my Thunderlord at any time at all in PvP or PvE. You're never going to be like, man, Thunderlord would be the best thing to use right now. However, it'd be a really fun thing to use a lot in PvE content. PvP, sure, it'd be fun to use, but you might want to use like an exotic primary or secondary instead, kind of a deal, or like a truth if you're using exotic heavy in PvP because it's freaking broken in PvP. But in PvE content, this weapon fires faster and more accurately the longest the trigger is held. So it's basically persistence perk. So this was a bigger deal when persistence wasn't a perk out there, because this was like the only perk that could do that in year 1. But now in year 2, this persistence perk, so this is kind of like persistence. So it's not really that big of a deal. And it does arc damage. So honestly, Thunderlord in year 2, because persistence was allowed for whatever reason, they gave the exotic perk to regular legendary weapons, and I think maybe rares. Suddenly Thunderlord is not a big deal. There's not really that big of a exotic perk to it. I think there might be a hidden exotic perk to this weapon, but if there is, then I wouldn't know what it is because I didn't really look into it. The weapon looks awesome, is really fun to use because you just shoot lightning rounds out of your machine gun, and how it handles when you shoot it, it feels like you're freaking a Thunderlord, you know? It's freaking awesome. So it's fun to use, but not very good, unfortunately. So that's the review of the exotics that Xur is having this week. Imperium Battle Class, I get it for having fun to trick people in PvP. Otherwise, not a big deal. Skyburst Annex, really fun and good for like the raid and PvE content, but not a big deal in PvP. Alchemist Raiment, not a big deal at all, unless you want to just have fun with your Warlock in PvP. And Thunderlord, or if you're desperate for Glimmer, so desperate. Thunderlord, fun to use, but not good at all in PvP or PvE. So, I get this to have fun in PvP. I get this to have fun or be useful in PvE content. I get that to have fun in PvP, and I get that to have fun in PvE. So, it's all fun. This is probably the most useful exotic Xur has this week. So, get what you want. Enjoy. Until next time, citizens, thanks for watching.